competition anyway.
Well, here we are at the Championship 2023 at Invermark. This is myself, David Templar, running Sedgewood Poppy of Countryways. As you can see, we start off in heather, and straight away she flushes a rabbit. Rabbit unfortunately goes behind us, so we don't get a chance to shoot the rabbit, but she gets a contact flush. As you can see, the heather is really quite tight. There's been, the rabbits on here have been stunk out, so there was quite a few rabbits about and a bit of scent. This dog's not usually used to rabbiting, but she's doing a good job. She's one of those bitches that never really lifts her head, so she's tight hunting. Always when you're hunting like this, you're just worried whether you're going to miss anything. The last thing you want to do is come in first day on the championship and miss a bird or miss a rabbit sat up. Always becomes quite difficult. As you can see now, they've had a flush on the opposite side, and my dog's sat still waiting to see what's going on. They've had the retrieve on the other side. When you wait, one of the first things you recognise in the championship is there's a lot of waiting around whilst the other dog does a retrieve, whilst the judges make up a decision. So the dog has to be rock steady, and it's really got to be no hassle. This dog is lovely. She's so calm and easy. She'll just work with you and sensible. So off we go again. We're now working this heather bank. This run actually ends up being very long. It's about 35 minutes long, just to get a bird. Like I said, we had a contact flush to start with, and then we carried on, and on and on and on. Mixture of ground, and there's a little gully on the right hand side, which makes it, there might be a bird sat in the gully, but it sort of irritates a little bit with your pattern, so we just let her go, and she's working between the two guns quite nicely. At this time you're just worried you might miss a bird, so cover everything, let the dog use his nose to find the bird. Right, now we push up onto this heather bank. It's quite tight, the heather bank. Always worried that you might miss a little bit. There was quite a lot of rabbit burrows here, but not too many rabbits, so you always expect to find them. You've got to check it all out just in case you miss. But we go over this heather, covering everything, just in case you might find a rabbit, or it could be a hen bird sat in there. But we go right over the top of this ridge, and then gradually on down the valley. So a mixture of cover. You've got to have something that's tackled everything. We could go into a piece of woodland later on, we could go into brambles, could go into anything. So you've got to have a dog that will tackle everything. This little witch tends to keep her head on the ground, so she doesn't mind anything actually. But we're going to go over now, go down this gully, and you'll see us drop down into the plateau down below. I hope you're enjoying the views, because the view is incredible. It's really, really nice, and if you look round now, we'll start to see the gallery and spectators. We're stopped here at the moment. They're coming along on the right hand side. I believe they get a retrieve, and we're just waiting. In this game you just have to wait sometimes. There's quite a lot of time between dog changeovers and waiting for retrieves and waiting for the judges to have a chat. So you've got to have a dog that when you do sit it still, it's got to realise it's going to sit there for a while. It's a gallery, and the host is with us today, and some of the people from the Kennel Club. So fortunate that everybody can see what's going on. So it's a very, very good championship for viewing. And then we're going to go off. We go down the valley again when they finish the retrieve on the right hand side and swap dogs, and then off we go again. We're going to go down through the valley now. So keep on the gorse, and then on the heather I should say, and then we're going to go back down into this patch of rushes on the bottom, hoping that we can find a bird, because they've been finding quite a few birds up on the right hand side. And the keeper's done a fantastic job here. He's put out feed stations and done a wonderful, wonderful job. But look on down through the valley now. Alright, well, we start going over this little bank now and into another patch of rushes. You see, bird got up from the right hand side. Lots of shots he gets a decent retrieve. My dog has to sit still whilst it's all going on. Bit of steadiness. You may think that everything is all about hunting, but you've got to have a dog that's steady and will take on this pressure. And this run actually becomes a very long run. I've had to cut everything short because it's 35 minutes long. And we go on and on. So for all those people that think that a trial dog is a dog that can only do 3 seconds, I know my second run happens to be 5 minutes long, but my first run, this one, actually takes us all the way down this valley into the mound. You can see in the distance, little mound, and we're going down through these rushes, and there's like a brook on the right hand side or in between us. And the only thing you have to do is do either side and make sure there isn't a bird sat in the brook. That's the problem. So you've got to cover everything. There's lots of rabbit burrows on the right hand side. Plenty of scent. But we're just waiting. You never know. You might just find a rabbit in there. So you've got to check everything out. Your biggest problem you have with this is you could let the dog go and it go really well, and then all of a sudden you find you've got a rabbit tucked in. Now, rabbit shot just in front of me actually, but it was flush from the right hand side, and the dog on the right has been sent for it. I think actually the rabbit flushed between the two of us, but they've passed the retrieve over. He comes across in front of my dog and retrieves it just outside the bury. And we're going to carry on now, and we will continue on down through this valley. Actually, in my one run, I believe they changed 3 dogs on the right hand side. They had quicker runs. It's one of those luck games where, because of the game being wild, this is not placed, the game is totally wild. So when you're working through here, you can either find a bird within the first 5 minutes, or you could carry on all day. So that's just the luck bit. Well, the keeper's done his job and he's kept the birds in this area, and really surprising, because if you look at the area you wouldn't think there was a bird, but all of a sudden they're all tucked in quite tightly. I mean, it's pretty cold up here and the weather keeps changing, and I wouldn't want to be out here all night. But as you can see now, we're quartering again. We've gone past that mound. This has gone on another 5 or 10 minutes, and the dog's still continuing her pace, so I'm glad with that. She doesn't mind, she's enjoying this now. If you were on a rough shooting day, you'd be continuing. You'd expect the bits to continue, and she's quartering quite nicely in this rushes. And up she gets 1 bird, 2 birds, so she flushes 2 birds at the same time, and then she is sat steady, sent for the first bird. I believe I get the first bird, and then they offer the other retrieve across. So this will end actually my first run in the championship. So at this stage you're just glad to get that bird. We offer it over to the judge, make sure there's nothing wrong with it. He would check the bird and just make sure everything's okay, and that will end my run. So that means at the present moment, hopefully if the judges have liked the bitch, I'll get through to the second day. They do make a cut, so you're always worried whether they don't think it's good enough and make a cut. I was quite happy with my run. You'll see me walk back and talk to Mark Clough, and I was a little bit disappointed because obviously it's a long run and you would like it to go like a rocket, but according to Mark, he said she did extremely well, so I was pleased, and his remarks were better than what I saw myself. So that was my championship, and lucky at the end of it I managed to pick up a diploma of merit, which was a great honour. She's done extremely well this season. I would like to thank the estate for putting on such a wonderful, wonderful championship, and to all the helpers, to the keeper, for doing such hard work. Well, thank you very much from me at Countryways Gun Dogs. Thank you very much.